The first human charge shattered 3 alien civilizations in under 7 seconds, and I was standing on the wrong side of the battlefield when it happened. The sky above Caro's prime burned violet as orbital cannons carved scars through the atmosphere. I remember thinking the universe looked wounded, like it had finally realized it made a terrible mistake. Alarm screamed across the obsidian plains, and every species present, every ancient empire that had survived millennia, froze when the humans advanced. Not marched, advanced, running straight into annihilation. None of us were prepared for the truth. I am Dr. Elias Monroe, Xenolinguist Liaison, and at the time, official human observer to the Coalition War Council. Humanity had been invited to witness the final suppression of the Thalrex Rebellion, not participate. We were considered too young, too volatile, too emotional, too weak. But when the first Coalition shield collapsed, everything changed. The Thalrex were an ancient machine hybrid species, their cities grown rather than built, their minds networked across planets. They had rebelled against the Coalition's harmonized order, refusing neural compliance. For that crime, the galaxy decided they would be erased. I watched their capital burn from a command dais, shared by creatures who spoke in probability curves and casualty percentages. To them, this was math. To me, it was genocide. And to the humans beside me, soldiers in dark exo-armor, faces hidden behind reflective visors, it was something else entirely. I didn't understand that yet, but that was only the beginning. When the Thalrex unleashed their countermeasure, the battlefield went silent. Every Coalition fleet relied on synchronized quantum command, orders transmitted faster than thought, fleets moving as one mind. The Thalrex severed it with a forbidden pulse, a reality scramble that collapsed entanglement across light years. Ships drifted, weapons powered down. Entire armadas became helpless metal coffins. Panic rippled through the Coalition ranks. I saw in the way tentacles stiffened, in the sudden erratic flicker of bioluminescent skins. The War Council began calculating retreat vectors. Then a human general stepped forward. General Mara Kincaid didn't shout. She didn't posture. She simply said, "Cut our uplink." The council laughed, actually laughed, until she repeated it. "Humans don't fight that way," she said calmly. "We fight locally, individually, emotionally." She turned to her troops. Manual override. All units. What I saw next changed everything. Human ships powered up, older tech, analog cores, systems intentionally isolated. Their weapons weren't elegant. They were brutal. Railguns instead of energy lances. Kinetic kill vehicles. Boarding pods. The humans didn't try to restore order. They embraced chaos. As Coalition fleets drifted uselessly, humanity surged forward alone, plunging into the Thalrex defensive grid. Boarding pods slammed into machine cities like meteor strikes. Marines poured out into corridors filled with autonomous drones and living circuitry. I watched helmet cam feeds in horror and awe. They fought while wounded, while screaming, while dying. They kept moving. One soldier, his suit ruptured, oxygen bleeding away, used his last seconds to drag a Thalrex child unit out of a collapsing conduit before detonating himself to hold the passage. Why? An alien admiral whispered beside me. I didn't have an answer. Not yet, but the battlefield did. Around the midpoint of the assault, the impossible happened. The Thalrex surrendered, not strategically, emotionally. Their network fractured, not from damage, but confusion. They couldn't model the humans. Sacrifice without efficiency, rage without calculation, compassion in the middle of slaughter. The Thalrex overmind opened a direct channel. To me, interpreter, it said, its voice layered with 1,000 minds. Explain to humans. My hands shook as I responded. They believe some things are worth dying for. There was a pause. Something like fear. That variable was deemed extinct. The overmind said. Then came the twist no one expected. The coalition ordered the humans to stand down. The Thalrex, they said, were still a long-term threat. Compliance protocols must be enforced. The surrender rejected. General Kincaid refused. For the first time in recorded history, humanity turned its weapons, not on an enemy, but on its allies. Coalition cruisers locked targeting arrays on human ships. Probability engines calculated humanity's annihilation in under 3 minutes. I felt sick. I felt small. And then the humans did something the cosmos had never seen. They broadcasted, not threats, not demands, memories, human memories, raw, unfiltered, poured into the coalition network. Childhoods, loss, love, Earth's wars, Earth's mistakes, Hiroshima, Normandy, refugees, protesters standing in front of tanks, a species screaming into the void. We know what monsters look like. We refuse to become one again. Coalition minds reeled, their logic cores overloaded trying to process something they had evolved past. Choice. The War Council fractured. Some fleets powered down. Others fired. Human ships were hit, destroyed. I watched men and women I had eaten would vanish in white fire. General Kincaid's voice came over the channel, calm even as her flagship burned. "Monroe," she said, "remember this." "What?" I whispered. "That fears are why the galaxy should respect us." Her ship exploded, but the humans didn't retreat. They surged. What followed wasn't a battle. It was a reckoning. Coalition worlds watched as humanity, outnumbered, outgunned, fought with ferocity born not of conquest, but defiance. They used the coalition's own doctrines against them, predicting their logic, exploiting hesitation. And everywhere humans fought, something strange happened. Other species joined them. Independence, subjugated worlds. Those who had lived quietly under harmonized order. Hope spread faster than fear. The coalition fell not because humanity destroyed it, but because humanity reminded the galaxy what it had lost. In the aftermath, I stood on the ruins of Karos Prime beside a Thalrex unit rebuilding its city, not as a weapon, but as a home. The Overmind spoke to me one last time. "We fear humanity because you are unpredictable," it said. "Now we fear you because you choose to be." I asked what it meant. "You possess the power to destroy us all," it replied. "Yet you restrain yourselves. That is more terrifying than any weapon." Years later, when new civilizations ask why humanity hold a permanent seat beyond any council, beyond any empire, they are shown the recordings, not of battles, but of humans standing between the helpless and the inevitable. I was there when the cosmos learned the truth. Humanity doesn't scare the galaxy because of how hard we fight. It fears us because Even in the darkest where the universe ever saw, we chose to be human.